Hello dear students, welcome in the physical education class. Students, in the previous video we have discussed about the question number 1 to 11, which was multiple choice questions, MCQs, right? And today we are going to move ahead. So let's start. The question number 12 was define food intolerance, discuss the causes and management of food intolerance. Okay, whenever we talk about the food intolerance, we can simply understand by this term, which is intolerance. Intolerance means which cannot be tolerated, and if we are talking about the food, it means that food which cannot be tolerated by our digestive system, digestive process. Okay, that is called food intolerance. If we had some food and after that we face from some kind of allergy that time, that is known as food intolerance, or we can say food allergy is the other name of food intolerance, right? Food intolerance is a term used widely for the word's physiological response associated with a particular food. It means when we take or intake or had some particular food which we cannot digest properly, and it has some physiological responses. It means the negative physiological responses, we can say, that is food intolerance. If you had something and after that you vomit that, and you get some allergy in your skin, then it is known as food intolerance. It means you cannot digest, or your digestive process is not digesting, absorbing that food properly. Okay, or we can say in this simple word, food intolerance means the individual elements of certain food that cannot be properly processed and absorbed by our digestive system. Okay, there are a few causes of food intolerance. There can be different causes of food intolerance in the different persons, right? So first is inactivity of the enzymes responsible for the breaking down the or absorbing the food elements. It means if you have inactive enzymes, or your digestive process or digestive system is not producing proper enzymes for the digestion, that time you will face problem to breaking down the elements of the food, or you can't absorb that food or those nutrients, right? Organical chemicals present in food. As you know, there are nowadays there are everything is made up by the chemicals, or we can say there are chemicals in everything, right? Then if there are present of organic chemicals, it gives a bad effect to our digestive process. That is the another reason of food intolerance. Next is illness. Sometimes it happens we are ill and we are not feeling good. That time our digestive process do not perform the better performance, and that can be the another cause. Diet related problem, lifestyle with the elastic food intake. Sometimes it happens we do not do any kind of physical activities and we had a different kind of food. That time our digestive process cannot tolerate that. Okay, sometimes we had oily food, we had junk food. This kind of food is not good for health, we can say. High intake of refined foods. If we intake high refined food, then also we can face the same problem. If we'll talk about the symptoms of food intolerance, gastrogen problem will be there, cramps in the gastrogen problem, stomach pain, diarrhea, headache, vomiting, heartburn. These kind of problem we can face when we are having food intolerance. And now how can we manage food intolerance? These are very simple ways we can consult to the doctor regarding that particular food, and if some medicines are there, we can intake that, which can improve our digestive process. Okay, which can produce proper enzymes in our body. Okay, or we can try minor changes to our diet to exclude food causing clear cut reactions, right? And there are some few therapies which can help and food intolerance like fructose intolerance therapy, lactose intolerance therapy, and histamine intolerance therapy can be applied if you are suffering from food intolerance. These terms we heard in the when we was talking about the carbohydrates, fructose, maltose, lactose. These were the elements of the food or element of the, we can say, carbohydrate, right? Okay. The question number 13 was the procedure, benefits and contraindication of chakrasana. Okay, the procedure, this is the picture which is related with the chakrasana, and this is called the chakrasana, in which you bend backward and you make a proper chakra, right? Procedure. Okay, lie down on the back. First we have to lie down, then we can take support of both hands, then we uplift our center or middle part of our body, then we raise our body up and make a semicircle. That position is called chakrasana. Okay, what are the benefits of chakrasana? These are pro, it produce elasticity of body. Elasticity means it makes body flexible, right? Second is it reduces abdominal fat. This is very beneficial for the reducing fat. Okay, it makes hand, feet, knees, shoulder and arms muscles strong, because in that part we are giving the more stress. It removes abdominal diseases, and as you know, this is also beneficial for asthmatic persons, right? Next, what are the contraindication? The person who are suffering from back injury, they should avoid this. Somebody has high blood pressure, headache, diarrhea, they should avoid this. And if you are suffering from hernia, in that case the person can avoid this asana. Okay, now the question number 14 was write 3 strategies to make physical education accessible for children with special need, in which we have to discuss about, or we have to give the answer about the facilities which we can provide to the children who are specially need, and how can we make their life very easy. Okay, so the answer is a medical checkup. First, a medical checkup is very necessary, because whenever we talk about the disability, then we should know about the disability first, the that what kind of disability the student is having. If we know that thing properly, then only we can make the things easy for them, because at that time we can understand what kind of problem they are having and how can we solve that kind of problems, right? The second is activities based on interest. We should always keep in our mind that the activities which are designed for the children with special need, it should be based on the interest of that person. We should not force them to do those things which we like. We should do those things which they like mostly, because then they will improve, or they will enhance their capability in that particular work, because now they have interest in that particular activity. Okay, right? Next is modification of rules. Whenever we design some program for those students or those persons which are specially need, that time we should consider the rules, and we should make rules flexible, right? Because if a person is having some kind of disability, they are not, or they cannot perform the proper these things in a proper manner which we can perform. If we play the basketball, then the ring should be lower. Okay, and we can throw in the higher which is official height of the ring, but for those we should do modification. And in this way we modified so many rules, we modified so many equipment for those, so that they can feel very comfortable, and they should, or they can perform physical activities very easily, and it gives so many benefits to them. Okay, thank you for today. Next, in the next video we'll discuss about the 2 questions, and which is one is very important. You all will very confused to solve that, which is fixture of 18 teams. So thank you for today. We will discuss that topic in the next video.